This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented active and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Whether it's a landmark or a nightlight, Con Edison knows everything that depends on power matters to someone, so everything matters to us. Con Edison, everything matters.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Transit Newsmagazine. This month we're exploring Ripley's Believe It or Not in Times Square, where the weird is real and fact is stranger than fiction. I'm Mike Newton-Goldstein.
That's right, Mike, and believe it or not, it's easier than ever to bring you and your family to one of New York City's most exciting attractions using the Long Island Railroad and Metro-North Railroad deals. I'm Crystal Caloris.
Venture into over 20 themed galleries and come face to face with over 500 remarkable relics and rare treasures from around the world.
But before we discover wonder around every corner with this once-in-a-lifetime experience, first, on this month's show.
How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. But you might want your violin first. I'm Brandon Snively, and I've got that story.
There's so many interactive exhibits at this museum, including this one, where you can get your photo taken with over 30 hissing cockroaches. Having fun there, Michael?
So much fun, Crystal. You know, cockroaches have existed for over 300 million years, but the MTA has a plan to get these critters out of our subways with a new anti-litter campaign. I got to go check out their new mission. Litter in New York City subways is a leading contributor to the issue of cleanliness in the system. In addition, it feeds the very rodents that New York City Transit tries so hard to eradicate. But the most serious effect of litter is track fires. Litter acts as a fuel source for track fires and can cause long delays for customers and damage to the subway system. Fortunately, New York City Transit has multiple strategies to further reduce litter and track fires.
We just recently formed a committee called the XCOM Fire Committee, and that committee is looking at a few different things. One thing is how to track where our fires are. Instead of just gathering the data, is trying to pinpoint where they are throughout the system.
One of the key factors for reducing the number of track fires has been New York City Transit's Fast Track program. An important part of the program was cleaning over 1 million feet of track.
At the end of 2013 was a great reduction. If you go back to the years of 1997, we had over about 2,500 track fires in our system. Last year we had about 900.
Another one of New York City Transit's efforts in reducing track fires and delays they cause is at the Occupational Safety Training Center, where Transit has taught employees how to extinguish track fires since the late 80s.
The way we train our employees, we give them classroom time where we go over different classes of fire, the effects of fire, not just fire itself, but smoke. Smoke plays a big role when you're dealing with fire. We also give them hands-on where we'll go out and show them the different fire extinguishers, how to use a fire extinguisher the correct way, how to put out a fire.
Everyone from station agents and trained personnel to maintenance workers get hands-on experience so they have the confidence to deal with track fires when they appear, reducing delays and keeping customers safe.
It helps immensely. It prepares the employee to be able to handle a fire in the event a fire occurs on our system. They'll feel more empowered that they're able to successfully put out that fire, as well as keeping themselves safe as knowing that their number one objective is to keep our employees as well as the customers safe also.
Along with standard cleaning and fast track, a lot of work goes into removing over 40 tons of debris from station trash cans. In order to reduce litter in the entire system, New York City Transit implemented a canister-free station pilot program. By removing trash cans from stations, they hope to reduce the amount of litter brought into the system.
The trash can pilot was first tried in the last quarter of 2011 at 2 stations, and then a year later it was expanded to another 8 stations. New York City Transit came up with several different ideas to address the volume of trash that we have at stations and to address the number of rats that feed on that trash. And so as one of the ideas to reduce the amount of trash at stations, we were going to remove the trash cans from some of our stations and see if that's going to work.
And it's worked. The first quarter saw negative results, but by the fourth quarter, scores improved dramatically.
During the pilot, the amount of trash that was being collected was reduced by about 65%. And the amount of litter that we found around the station initially had increased, but then as customers got used to the idea of trash cans not being there, it went back down to normal levels and actually exceeded the cleanliness levels prior to the pilot being there.
And with the current success of this pilot, New York City Transit aims to spread the idea.
We plan to expand the pilot in about a month to other stations, to a line of stations on the J line, and on the M line, it would be about another 29 stations.
I think it's a great idea for the MTA to try to reduce litter on tracks. We need that. So this way, there's no fires, it looks better, we can get rid of the rodents, because with garbage comes rodents, and that's what, this city is full of them.
And if you find yourself at a station without trash cans,
we would encourage them to dispose of the trash before they come to the station on their way in, and when they're leaving, to take the trash with them and dispose outside of the station or take it home, depending on what it is that they have.
And if you see a track fire, New York City Transit would like to remind you,
try and find an MTA employee, whether it's go to the station agent, or if there's somebody on the platform with a vest or in the station area that has a vest on, just notify them immediately. We want to know about that so that we can take the appropriate action.
keeping New York City subways clean and safe is as easy as throwing out a piece of trash. I'm Mike Knutson-Goldstein reporting for Transit News. Wow, Crystal, we're up so high I could see my house. Good thing I'm not afraid of heights.
Well, even if you are afraid of heights, you can still enjoy this optical illusion and get your photo taken like you're King Kong.
I would hate to drop my phone from up here.
You know, a phone isn't the weirdest thing that's ever been lost. You should see some of the things that they lose in the transit system. Here's Brandon Snively with a look at some of those oddities.
Losing an item is stressful for any commuter. Luckily, the Long Island Railroad Lost and Found is a place where you can retrieve it.
Everything from phones, wallets, to crutches, wheelchairs, strollers, duffel bags, backpacks, books, jewelry, everything. Anything and everything anyone can lose, fall out of their pocket, or leave behind, we get here.
However, when you have over 83 million riders, one can only imagine some of the unusual items that are lost and found.
Sporting equipment, guitars, a prosthetic leg was probably the most unique and odd item. Fishing poles, personal items.
And if your stuff is lost, the process of retrieving an item is as easy as riding a train.
When you come into our office, we have a laptop sitting on our front desk for you to use, and if there's any complications, we are here happy to help and fill it out for you. You can also call 511, and you can speak to our representatives on phone, and they will fill out the inquiry for you.
Think these items are crazy? Here's what I caught at New York City Transit's Lost and Found. New York City Transit is larger, with over 2 billion riders a year, and their items seem to change with the seasons.
We usually receive, with school, with a lot of book bags, during the winter, shopping bags, Christmas shopping, wallets, credit cards, you name it, just about anything ends up here at the Lost Property Unit.
Annually, approximately 43,000 items are lost on buses, subways, and commuter trains.
On a daily basis, we probably receive about 60 to 70 items a day, and we return about 60% of those items.
As far as the items that are claimed, it varies, but we're around 40% that we returned items back to the customer.
And what happens to unclaimed items depends on where you lost it.
It all depends. If the item, if it's electronics such as iPads or laptop computers or even clothing, it's turned over to another department and it's auctioned.
However, some items may be too strange for the auction block.
Car bumper, a steel bumper, prosthetic legs. I guess out of all of them, we receive a lot of teeth.
So if you lost your teeth, bike, or bag, the process of getting your things back is also quite simple.
Hopefully, the customer that has lost the item has filed a lost property inquiry. Once the item is received here at the lost property office, the agent enters the lost property into the lost property system. We're doing the same thing that the customer is doing. So basically, that's the computer actually matches up the items. So this way, we can notify the customer either by telephone, email address, or her home address, which we would send a postcard to. If anyone is interested, they could go to the MTA website, just type in asset recovery, and you can see all the items that the New York City Transit has for auction.
If you want to find any item you may have lost, both the Long Island Railroad and New York City Transit Lost and Found offices are conveniently located
right here in Penn Station on the Long Island Railroad concourse level, across from tracks 13 and 14, if you're familiar with Penn Station at all.
We're located in the 34th Street subway station on the A, C, and E subway line, lower level.
If you need more info, go to the MTA website Lost and Found link.
Well, we do have a database, mta.info, so if you do lose something, you go there, fill in an online inquiry, and all your information will be either your name, your address, your phone number, email address for us to contact you.
Singing the blues because you lost your guitar? Don't worry, you can find it right here at New York City Transit's Lost and Found. I'm Brandon Snively, reporting for Transit News.
I'm here with Claudio Shapsis, Chief Experience Officer here at Ripley's Believe It or Not in Times Square. So Claudio, tell us about Robert Ripley.
Robert Ripley was an amazing man, a man with many, many talents. He was a cartoonist, he was an adventurer, he visited places, over 200 countries around the world, and he was a collector of real oddities that today we're featuring many of those here at Ripley's Believe It or Not in Times Square.
What are some of the cool exhibits that people should check out?
With 18,000 square foot of exhibits, everybody has something that like the most. We have here animals, real odd animals. We have a crazy Buddha made out of $1 million shredded bills. We just opened a new gallery celebrating New York City, and there is about technology and how the city should show itself. You have amazing experiences like the Laser Quest and the Black Hole. Those are real nice interactive exhibits.
What are the MetroCard deals and discounts offered here at Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Well, we are offering through MTA different discounts on gateways. You can find there over 39% of discount when you buy those tickets with the Long Island Railroad, with Metro North. You have also a ticket that is combination with the dinner, so you can come to the city, have a nice dinner, and visit the museum. It's over 39% of discount, so I truly recommend to visit MTA Gateway's website.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Transit News Desk. I'm Rachel Wildner.
And I'm Warren Freeman. Welcome back, Rachel. I heard you just went to Brazil. How was it?
I did, and it was tons of fun. I am a little jet lagged though, but luckily the MTA bus time just arrived to Brooklyn and Queens. That way, even if I'm running a little late, I know my bus won't be. Here's Opal Vidon with the Inside Scoop.
Brooklyn and Queens are the last two boroughs to get MTA's live bus tracking service. As a result, MTA bus time is now active at 15,000 bus stops.
Well, bus time uses global positioning to determine the exact location of every single one of our buses in our fleet. Customers can either use their computer at home, they can use a smartphone, or they can just use a cell phone that has the ability to text either the QR code or the intersection to 511123. You'll get information back on when your next bus is coming.
But the biggest benefit is to the riders. because MTA's bus time allows you to know before you go.
It's helped me get to where I need to go on time and make sure that I'm there either early or directly on time.
Pretty much, I take the bus every day, so I check it every day. Every time I'm at the bus stop, I check and see how far away the bus is or what time it is.
No need to wait. You'll never be late with MTA bus time. I'm Opal Don for Transit News.
The New York Transit Museum Annex in Grand Central Terminal celebrates 100 years with some unique and unexpected crafts. Our reporter Jonathan McFarland went to go check them out.
The New York Transit Museum Annex in Grand Central Terminal is showcasing the winners of City Quilters Contest to commemorate the terminal's 100-year anniversary.
We received about 85 quilts, and the people submitted them from all over the country, 25 different states, I think. People are going to be surprised and stunned and pleased. Not many people realize that quilting has evolved into this kind of art form.
30 finalists brought their style and flair to the handmade textiles in lavish prints and design.
Most exotic looking piece is probably the modern art one looked by Beth Carney. It was the third, it came in third. It's a truly, it doesn't look like most people's idea of a quilt. It doesn't have blocks, but it's truly a gorgeous piece of art.
I took a lot of pictures and thought about underneath when you're going to the train and I'm running to catch the train, the cement and the drippings of the cement, which can appear so ugly. I was taking pictures of those. And then I was taking pictures of the marble. And when you magnify it on the computer and start to look at the line, that's where I got my inspiration for the line work.
The grand prize winner is Time Flies, But We Take the Train. And other quilts on exhibit are the Grand Central Terminal Mandela and Coming and Going for 100 Years, done by Karen Morrison.
I was trying to capture the fact that, when you look down into the terminal, you see people just buzzing and milling around in the base of the terminal, and that's what I was trying to show, that this goes on and on.
The Transit Museum also has some things on quilting for beginners and the seasoned craftsmen.
We have some great products in the store that go along with this exhibition. There's a quilting kit if you've never done it and you'd like to learn how. It's really simple and it shows you step by step how to put it together. There are a number of books on quilting and fiber art, and there are a couple of different fun toys and activities for children. So when you come to the gallery, it's worth a visit to the store at the same time.
The exhibit is open from now until July 6th at the Transit Museum Annex.
This one, it's more of a tapestry piece, it looks like, but I'm enjoying how they used and integrated the fabric that was pre-selected for this competition, it sounds like.
I think I like this one best because the clock is the center of the quilt, and that's the most iconic image, I think, from Grand Central.
Weaving together 100 years of history, the quilts can be seen here at the Grand Central Annex. I'm Jonathan McFarland, reporting for Transit News.
Leon Duncan, a former Tuskegee Airman, transit employee, and so much more, was honored for his services. Our reporter Derica Abrahams got the story.
Family, friends, and fellow Tuskegee Airmen gathered together to remember and honor Leon Duncan for his service.
Well, he was a hardworking man. I mean, our family grew up poor, more or less, and he worked his way through the ranks of Domino Sugar Company, New York City Transit Authority. We're just so glad for this honor, and it's sad that he has passed and he's not alive to receive this himself.
One of the original airmen, Dabney Montgomery, recalls the difficulty for African Americans to serve in World War II.
The experience was tough. There is no doubt. And they found black men to be not strong enough, not mentally prepared. But the press and other politicians, including Mrs. Roosevelt, yes, why don't you give these men a chance to fly?
After serving his country, Leon returned and eventually began a career with New York City Transit. Just like his father, Arnold also followed in his footsteps.
Well, my father started out as a cleaner before he got a job as a conductor, and he retired from Transit Authority. I was in the lighting department, a lighting foreman, and I retired after 25 years with transit.
Because of his hard work and dedication, not only to transit, but to his country, Leon will be remembered by many.
I'm so thankful for everyone who has come out to celebrate the life of our father. He would have turned 97 this week. So sorry, I feel his spirit here though.
Leon Duncan has truly left his mark. With New York City Transit and now the Congressional Medal of Honor, I'm Derica Abraham reporting for Transit News.
The Fix and Fortify program looks to help small and minority-owned businesses thrive with the help of the MTA. Here's Celeste Faragi with a look at how this is done.
Since Hurricane Sandy, the MTA has been seeking out small and minority-owned businesses to help rebuild through various conferences and the new Fix and Fortify program.
From the chairman and my staff, we felt there was a need to bring this conference with all the billions of dollars of our Hurricane Sandy taxpayers' dollars being spent. We wanted to make sure that those taxpayers' dollars are going to be spent in an inclusive manner.
The Fix and Fortify program is funded through the federal government and FEMA. Nearly $3.8 billion was allocated to the MTA to repair damage and plug holes left by Sandy, with $4.5 billion projected for future projects.
In Lower Manhattan alone, at the 6 stations we have there are 540 different places where water can enter the system. That's an example of something we have to do in the form of awarding contracts for design-build efforts and design-bid-build efforts to have protections to make sure water doesn't enter those locations.
At last month's conference, large businesses were also looking to network and partner with smaller contractors.
We're doing feasibility studies with MTA, we're doing engineering studies with MTA, and we're also pursuing a lot of construction management projects with MTA. We're looking for a partner who we can team with over and over again, who will develop close relationships with, and who can provide us with the staff to help flesh out our teams when we're proposing on work.
Through the Fix and Fortify program, small businesses are mentored to expand upon their capabilities and are offered new opportunities.
As of now, we have done so many work with small business mentoring program set by Mike Garner. We done one as a prime like 8 months before, and we have done like 20 contracts as a subcontractor for electrical work.
The MTA is looking to fix and fortify the Big Apple with the help of women and minority-owned businesses. I'm Celeste Faragi reporting for Transit News.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Transit News Desk. I'm Rachel Wildner.
And I'm Orrin Freeman. Now back to the show.
Last year, Ripley's opened up a new exhibit worthy of the major leagues, a baseball hall with artifacts worth over $1.2 million, featuring Joe DiMaggio's prized bat and ball from his 56th game hitting streak.
But baseball is not the only sport we like to play. Many Americans are looking forward to the 2016 Olympic Games to be held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where our reporter Rachel Wildner gives you a sneak peek of how to get to and from the new Olympic Stadium.
Rio de Janeiro, a city of culture, history, and opportunities, is evolving into a hotspot for South America and tourists all over the world. It's Brazil's #1 spot for tourism, which is no surprise with destinations like Copacabana Beach, Sugarloaf Mountain, and the Christ the Redeemer statue. The city will soon be the host for the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 Olympic and Paralympic Games, which will further drive the world to come see what Rio has to offer. This will be the first time the Olympic Games come to South America and the third time they're hosted in the Southern Hemisphere. With over 500,000 visitors coming for the 2016 Olympics, it is no surprise that transportation is a key part of the Olympic plan. The Office of Operations in Rio has worked hard to create a mobility plan that will benefit the city both during and after the Games.
I think that the system is we're building 4 new expressways, Transoeste, Transcarioca, Transolímpica, and Transbrasil. And together with those 4 expressways, we have the light rail transit system connecting the port region to the domestic airports. The BRTs are going to assist more than 2 million people a day. So before that, we only had 2 expressways in Rio, the red line and the yellow line. So what happens with that project, we close the high-capacity transportation system belts in the city.
Additions to the light rail train and burst rapid transit are being made so that by the Olympic Games, the number of people using high-capacity transportation will increase by 300%. In addition to the BRT, metro lines are being extended, adding an extra 6 stations facilitating movements within the city. The 14-kilometer extension will increase the metro's capacity by 230,000 passengers per day and is scheduled to open in December 2015. Commutes will be cut in half, which will be a gold medal for Rio even after the Games. Rio de Janeiro is on their way to a new and improved transportation system. I'm Rachel Wildner reporting for Transit News.
Michael, I had such a great time at Ripley's, believe it or not. I saw tons of cool and crazy exhibits. I can't wait to come back and bring my friends.
Luckily, it's incredibly easy to get here via the subway to Times Square. And with Metro North Railroad and Long Island Railroad deals, you can keep coming back again and again without spending that $1 million Buddha.
Well, that just about wraps up this month's show. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, please email us at transitnews@nyct.com. I'm Crystal Coloris. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Mike Goldstein. Thanks for riding. You know, Crystal, I think this would be a good look for you. Why don't we go see if they have some of those necklaces in the gift shop?
This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented, active, and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Whether it's a landmark or a nightlight, Con Edison knows everything that depends on power matters to someone, so everything matters to us. Con Edison, everything matters.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.